All right, everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of Sky U Pod. As always, we appreciate you joining us and look forward to discussing Gopher football with all of you. Just a reminder, as always, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and available wherever you listen to your podcasts. So feel free to like and subscribe, share with others as it helps spread the awareness of the show. We love to spread some Gopher love everywhere and let us know what you think. Max Curdy joining me as always. How you doing tonight, fellas?
Doing good, man. It's always nice to sit down, the duck beer and talk Gopher football with you all. So looking forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah, doing well. Enjoying the summertime weather finally, and yeah, still excited to talk Gopher football.
I gotta say this now. My dog has been losing his mind. He really hates seeing people enjoy their day out in their yard. So you're probably gonna hear him barking in the background. I just don't have a way to block that out. So I apologize.
Hey, no worries. Our fans love dogs as well. So hey, Lando's the best.
That's right.
Well, anyway, before we really jump into our topic, let's kind of just cover some news. Kind of a big week for the Gophers after the first weekend of summer official visits. The Gophers received 11 new commitments. I'll kind of just briefly list all the commitments here. Running back Grant Washington from Ohio was committed to Central Michigan. Wide receiver Bradley Martino, a 6'2 Florida native, had offers from Sparty and Mississippi State. Offensive lineman Nelson McGuire, 3-star from Texas, held offers from Houston, Kansas State, and Texas Tech. Offensive lineman Zach Stikowski, he's the number 5 player in Oregon. He received offers from UCLA or Arizona State and Arizona. Offensive lineman Nick Spence, 6'6 tackle out of Arizona. Offers from Duke and Iowa State. Defensive lineman Rhett Helvaka, athletic, 6'4", 235 Wisconsin native. Gophers were his first Power 5 offer. Defensive lineman Colin Hansen, Minnesota native from Byron with a 6'5 frame to build on. Defensive tackle Abu Terawali, number 2 player in Minnesota. Just kind of a side note, this is probably what I'm most excited for. Held offers from Wisconsin, Michigan State, and Penn State. It's a huge land for the Gophers. Linebacker Ethan Stendel, Cladonia, Minnesota's quarterback. He's an athletic 6'2 quarterback who plays 7th in the state high jump. He'll play linebacker at the U, but obviously he's athletic. Illinois Gophers were his first Power 5 offer. Gophers project him transitioning to linebacker in college. And lastly, cornerback Naeem Parrish, high 3-star cornerback out of New Jersey, had offers from Wisconsin and West Virginia. Gophers now sit with 18 commitments and are 20th ranked in 24/7 Sports. Fellas,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts about that? It's a pretty big weekend.
For sure. I mean, getting double digit commit 9 total, or is it 11 new? I think it was 11 new and 9
11.
on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So big weekend. It's great to see. It does get you excited. I put that stat in there of what we were ranked. We did lose the D tackle out of Madison. He flipped back to Wisconsin. He was committed to Wisconsin, decommitted, committed to us, then decommitted and committed back to Wisconsin. So we're probably not 20th anymore. It's too early to get excited about that anyway. Listen, it's great. The number 2 kid in the state, he's a D tackle. So getting him now, especially with losing the other guy, it was huge. He had offers from a lot of places, so that one's really exciting. Again, though, just cautiously optimistic just because these kids can get a lot thrown at them, at any stage in this recruiting process. So it's great to have their verbal. About half of them stick with it. So that's nice, I'd say. And yeah, we probably are going to see a few more decommit before the actual signing date. But yeah, no, it's great. It's great to see a lot of these in-state kids staying home, and Fleck's been doing a pretty good job of that of late. And yeah, good weekend.
Yeah, like you said, it's definitely hard to get excited about any one player right now, just because they can flip, they can leave, they can come and transfer after a year. So like it's really hard to predict the future of what these guys are going to do. And there's just so many players; it is hard to keep track of all the different guys. And it's my hat off to all the college coaches out there recruiting. Like I don't know how they keep track of all these guys. So it's impressive that they were able to pull in this many players, especially all the the high volume we were able to pull in one weekend is impressive. And I think as a
Yeah.
whole, that's what I'm most excited about. Is that it's not like there's one or two big name guys or big recruits. There's quite a few, and a lot of them, like you said, coming from in-state or coming from Wisconsin. I think there's a pretty good indication that PJ's doing his job and doing his part of keeping those guys, keeping those local guys in state and pulling them away from Wisconsin. So that's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I am glad that PJ and the coaching staff are, really ramping up this recruiting. It looks like obviously, um, as you said, Kurt and Max. It'll be interesting to see who really kind of stays with us in light of NIL and just transferring and et cetera, et cetera. But I'm glad, as early as it is, there are some great players that are committed as of now to the Gophers. So
I do
we'll
want
see
to
what happens.
I just
Yeah.
want to add too. It is nice to see that they're hitting the offensive line pretty hard. It looks like so far. Given that you're probably going to lose 3 starters after this season, having was it 3 or 4 guys already from the offensive line committed. That's great. Especially, I feel like
Yeah.
we've done a pretty good job of developing those guys under Callahan's tenure here.
Yeah.
So getting more bodies, especially the big frame guys, specifically tackle type builds. It seems like really excited to see that. So and already a couple linebackers, which is a position that the previous Rossi missed on linebackers, I guess is what I'm getting at. Not all of them, but just there's some misses in there. So it's nice to see a couple bodies already there in this recruiting class. So, the more you get, the more chance you have on hitting on them. So I'm glad to see
Yeah.
that they've addressed positions of need that,
Yeah.
we're going to lose bodies at after the season.
Yeah. And I'm also glad defensive line seemed to be a really strong suit too this past weekend.
Yep.
Before the kid recommitted to Wisconsin and decommitted from here, we were at 4,
Yeah.
So hopefully we can remain up front, strong there. And it all starts up front, as you guys know, in football. So
Yeah.
exciting stuff. Well, let's get right into our topics for tonight. And just to preface this, anyone listening out there, if you have questions, comments, shoot them out to us. We'll address them right here, right now, and be part of the conversation here with us. First, kind of big news, exciting news. The Gophers unveiled new uniforms for this upcoming season. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on them. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Are there some things that you don't like about them? Will you miss the chrome domes that PJ kind of brought along with us? Yeah, Max, what do you think?
Yeah, overall, I definitely like them. I think they look good. I think they have a nice classic look. I do like the addition of the stripes on the shoulders and the pants. I think it's kind of going back to more of the I don't know a different era of Gopher football that we're kind of going back to that look, but also keeping them simple. The jerseys and pants overall are fairly simple. Um, my only critiques are there are still oars on the helmets. That's, I mean, it is
Well,
what it
that's for
is.
PJ. He wouldn't know what team he was coaching if they weren't there.
True, true. Yeah, so that's, I was, had a, I didn't expect them to go away, but there was, just that glimmer of hope of like maybe new uniforms, maybe we go away from it, but it is what it is. And then my only other really critique, I guess, if I had to point something out, is I just wish there was more like piping or trim around the numbers. Like I like that we went back to the gold numbers on the maroon uniforms because I think a lot of our previous maroon jerseys had gold numbers and not white. Um, but I just like when the numbers pop a little bit more. So kind of having that white trim around the gold or around the maroon numbers on the gold jerseys or vice versa, I think could look a little bit better. But overall, I like them a lot, and I like that we have the white, maroon, and gold helmets still.
Yeah. I love them. I think they're. It's tough. I mean, I really liked the Kill era jerseys, but these are right there for me just off the get go. Obviously, we'll see how they look when they're actually playing a game in them, but I think they look sweet. I would like to see. My only upset is like the pictures didn't give us like a maroon on maroon look, or I mean, man, if they want to gold on gold. The best thing about these uniforms, you got all the colors in there with each with no matter what one option you go with. So having that all in there I think is nice, and I love the stripes. It kind of looks like maybe a little bit like the Dungy type era, like throwback, but which it kind of sounds like they were maybe aiming for something towards that, not retro look, but just like tradition look, but also current and fresh, and I think they nailed it. Yeah, it is the end of the Chrome Domes, it sounds like. I personally, weren't we wearing those helmets during the Penn State game? I think we were. I think we had those
Yes, we
helmets
were.
on for the Penn
Yeah.
State game. I feel like that game is maybe the biggest factor in why people love those helmets, the people that do. I was okay with them, but we wore them all the time, and they were not my favorite. It looked like a big Christmas ornament to me, and I was ready to move on from them. I know that's not the most popular opinion. There are some Gopher fans that were sad about that. But man, I love these jerseys. We've been waiting to talk about these things for a while, and yeah, I'm pumped that everyone gets to see them now. And the all white look looks amazing. Maybe the best all white unis in college football. That's bold, I know, but I'm a Gopher fan. That's just how I feel.
These are the uniforms that I think will look back 10, 20 years and say, man, those are pretty cool. You
Yeah,
know, they're just a classic look. It's not too flashy. It's kind of going back to the roots of Gopher football, like you were saying, Max. And there's just not a whole lot going on, which is what I appreciate. It's just kind of the numbers. They look fresh. I like the striping kind of right on the pads there on the side. Um, I don't know much to complain. You know, I'm debating this. What if there was like a stripe down the length of the pants on the side? I don't know. I have to see that just
well,
to
there is
add
a
a little
stripe.
flavor. Oh, is there?
Yeah, we'll pull it up now. Let's pull up these.
They
The
look
man
good.
just wants some striped pants.
There,
Yeah,
there's one thing though that I do that I liked about I guess the it might be out of style right now, but back when Jerry Kill had those matte maroon helmets, I really
yeah,
like the look of those. If they could bring that
yeah.
back, that'd look pretty sweet. But otherwise, I love this uniform combination. It's awesome. There's just so many different combinations, permutations of you could do white pants, maroon jerseys,
Yeah.
yellow jerseys, white pants, et cetera, et cetera. So I'd like to see a lot of combinations maybe during the season just to get a little feel for what I like personally. I
Right.
think maroon on maroon is going to be my classic favorite. I kind of like that look.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, especially now that there's so much gold mixed in, you still get the gold on the
exactly.
pants, and you could wear the gold helmet with that look now too. But
Right.
um, yeah, I do want to say we know now, like they confirmed that the black alternate's staying around. Um, so that's not my favorite, but a lot of people do. That one's for the players. Here's another image. Here's the one with the whites mixed in. The all white looks so good.
Yeah.
I love
This.
that white helmet with
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
I like that
It's a
too.
great look. Um,
This was what I was looking at. I didn't notice
yeah,
the
it is kind of
stripe
tough to
there.
see on the stripe. So,
I
um,
I guess one thing too that I wonder that it's really not part of like the uniforms or like the combinations, but like are they just going to go all maroon face masks? Because that's all we've really seen from these images. But I feel like last year we changed up the face masks a lot too. Because personally, I like the white face mask kind of popped off
mm,
sometimes with the maroon helmet or the gold helmet. But
that's a
I don't know.
good. So I've been told that all our guy told. I think all the other helmet. I think the only ones that are out are the chrome domes. I think all the helmets. These are all helmets we saw last year. I think all the other ones outside of the chrome are in the rotation because the chrome doesn't really fit with these ones
Yeah,
as much anymore. But the black unis. and the black helmet are an alternate. Those are staying. Those were brand new last year. They're not going to get rid of those after one season. And yeah, so now the new uniforms, and I think all the helmets are on the table outside of the beloved chrome domes to some people. So,
Yeah.
what was that? Did you like the chrome domes more than I did? I was kind of sick of them by the end of it.
I feel like I was indifferent towards them because I feel like we were kind of late to the game on having the chrome helmets. I feel like so many other I think of Baylor was like the first team that came out with those, like the silver chrome and then the gold chrome, and at the time it was like, holy crap, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then a lot of other teams kind of copied them, and then I feel like we just in the last couple of years were like, hey, we could do that, and I didn't think it looked bad. I think it looked okay in certain combinations, but I'm probably not going to miss them. I'm not going to be like,
were
wishing we had it back.
Were those kind of reflective maroon ones? Where those count as chrome? Because I didn't mind those. Like, but they would wear the chrome face mask with them sometimes too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember those? Like the dark. I don't know.
I don't know if they were more of a
don't...
gloss than a chrome, but
I liked those more than the gold, Christmas bulb looking ones.
Yeah.
if they would have thrown it back and wore the actual like gold jerseys, or had some like actual gold element, to the jerseys and the chrome helmet, I think I would like it a lot more. At the beginning, maybe I was like, oh, this is cool. This is a new look. Maybe they'll do something cool with it. But over time, I wasn't as excited. I'm like Max. I'm kind of indifferent of it, but it's not like we're wearing the chrome helmets today.
Right. But, yeah. That is my thing. I wish if we're gonna have an alternate instead of black, like all black uniform, I would like a throwback, like a Dungy era throwback. There's too many on Twitter that tweet about wanting the double M at Connect to return. I hate those.
I like those, man.
If they did it in a non-conference game against like, I don't know,
Rhode Island.
Like Rhode Island,
like a non-televised game.
Yeah, well, they're all but I get what you're saying. I think they're hideous. I have no desire to see those back. A lot of people like them. Well, I think they like just the hideousness of them and the.
I think that is what it is. I think you're exactly right. It's just the uniqueness of it. It's something you would never see today, But I would like to see them wear it once and see how it looks like on the field.
Their old games are on YouTube. It's all right.
Yeah.
I would like if we would wear a throwback, but like literally the same uniform. Not just the look, but like the big baggy tearaway jerseys. Because that would just look so funny in today's day and age. Like these big, thick, long, baggy jerseys. Yeah, against a team that everything's just skin tight and breathable. Like, I just think it would look hilarious.
Yeah,
that'll never happen.
It would.
But it would just like they wouldn't even look like the same level of college team. It would probably look like a high school.
Yeah,
but
man,
well, very exciting. If you're gonna wear black, the last thing I'll say, do it like against one of these first teams. Just do it right away. Get it over with and do it once. Don't wear it more than one time.
Like the Rhode Island game.
If it's a night game against Rhode Island, wear them. Go ahead.
But we're told it's not for us, which it's not. Even though you're the one giving them the money to watch, but it's not about you. I get it. We sound like old people now, but it's just
But I agree, Spence. There is something about like when they wear the black uniforms and it's in the early morning, it just feels different for some reason. And it would feel different too if we wore them like later in the year in like a November 11 a.m. game. Like that doesn't seem right to me. They got to be like a night game in August. I don't know why. They're hot weather uniforms. Don't know.
Well, on that note, we're going to move to our second topic. On the topic of uniforms, we thought it'd be pretty fun to look at the entire Big Ten as it stands, and we're going to make a game out of this. We'll do a snake order draft, and each draft 6 Big Ten teams based on their uniforms, and at the end we'll see which person drafted the best collective 6 team uniforms. Okay.
So this is the tough part. We got to fight over. I won't kill the segment like last week or last show, but we got to decide the draft order. That's the only thing we didn't figure out before jumping on here.
Okay. Max, and then Kurt, and then me.
Boom.
That's the one spot I didn't want. No, it's all right. And we're gonna have the fans vote on this. There'll be a poll. There'll be an actual poll. I'll need help making the graphic with all of our teams we got, but other than that, I can make the poll and we'll see who drafted the best. This is strictly based on uniforms, so new Big Ten teams are included. But Max, you have the first overall pick. So what direction do you go?
All right. Well, this might be surprising to you guys that know my my fandom of Oregon football a little bit. But I think the best uniforms in the Big Ten is Ohio State. And to me, I think they stand out the most. I think they're probably top. I think you could argue they're the best uniforms possibly in college football. They're classic. They've never changed. The helmets, like the Buckeye stickers on the helmets, is unique, and I just think they're the best. And I like red. I think red pops.
Whoa. But you're the notorious Badger hater, according to those other comments on JR show.
Well, that's like a different red.
Yeah,
I like scarlet. How about that? Scarlet.
I have a big board, by the way. You left some top choices available for me here. I picked number 2. They fell to me. I'll take the Gophs. I'm going for the fan win here. I love the new one. I've always felt like, as a Gopher fan, that we've had underrated jerseys. I felt like it's been slept on. Now, we've had some ones that not great, like the Double M, but I love the new ones. I got a strategy here. Strategy. There we go. And I'm taking the Gophs, number 2 overall.
It's not a bad plan to pander.
Number 3 is a
back-to-back picks, Spence.
Okay. People are going to be mad, but I'll say it. My number 3 has got to be Michigan. The navy and maize, the combination, like you were saying, Max, it's just classic. 100+ years old. It's a bummer they didn't really wear it during the national championship game. They were all navy, but the maize pants is what makes Michigan Michigan. It's just a great color. It's unique. Like, you just don't see this combination out there. The helmets, they got the decals, although I think that was newly implemented once Harbaugh came in. But looks great. I love their uniforms. This one we all might not agree with, but I'm going to have to say it. Most people will feel this way if they're not left in the top 5. It's got to be Oregon. The Ducks.
Really?
I do think so.
That's a reach. I think
Here's why.
A huge reach. You left me a great team.
I had him at number 2, Spence. Great pick.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
I had him second to last.
Kurt.
I'm not even lying.
Kurt.
Whoa, because what jerseys are you talking about?
All of them.
Look.
The pink?
Well,
the
look.
yellow? The silver and yellow? Like, what? They have terrible uniforms. I seriously think they have some of the worst.
Please let my client speak.
They have, I'll have you know, 1.7 million combinations. If you take all their uniforms head to toe, that's how many combinations that they have. 1.7 million. And
freeze for anybody else?
In those 1.7 million different combinations, they do have a good look. We've seen them when they had those throw.
Oh, man.
This just makes my point.
No.
Look at he's talking about him. His connection isn't even staying. I feel bad keeping him up with his face like that, stuck like that.
I'll try to help out Spence because I was also hoping they were going to fall. I agree. There's way too many, and the cat was out of the bag once they started doing a brand new combination for every single game. And
do we move Spencer out of this journey?
Yeah. That's tough.
All
That's tough.
right. That's all right.
But I think Oregon though, like the top, if you're looking at like the top combinations, I think if they just kept like the best ones, they could be.
They could
If you
be a
ignore the
respectable
ones
top
that look,
12 in the Big Ten.
if you ignore the ones that look like cookie dough or whatever those look, batter ones, we just look away because it's only one game, right? Then it's on to the next thing. But
Well, I hope he rejoins because this draft is going to be a little awkward if he doesn't. But he got his 2 picks in, so he's
yeah,
got Michigan. I mean, he left me an all. Well, there's still all-time classics here left for everybody, but I got to go USC. It literally hasn't changed in I don't know how long, maybe never. It's an all-time classic. They also have great color schemes, very similar to the Gophers. But you're giving me USC still here. At what pick is this? 5? That's a steal. That is a total steal.
yeah.
They're one of the most classic uniforms in all of college football. Who wants to jump on this stream if Spencer doesn't come back? Comment
Yeah.
and you'll join in this awkward open space above us where he left us. But yeah, I'm going the Trojans, pick 5, so that gives me the Gophers. And I thought for sure he was going USC. He loves USC.
I would have thought, yeah, that surprised me.
I thought he was going to go.
That,
He could have had Michigan and USC, maybe 2 of the most
yeah, it's
all-time.
classics. Yeah,
But I'm
that's the
not
thing.
mad. I'm winning this draft.
I can't argue against USC being up there either. I feel like I don't know why. I really appreciate them, and I do like when teams don't ever change their
You
uniforms.
can really tip the scales in your favor here with these next 2, in my opinion. This is why I wanted the back-to-back. It just makes you look so strong.
Yeah. Well, the hard part right now is I didn't expect 2 of these to still be here, but well,
You get them
I think
both.
the next one to me is Penn State. I know they are. A lot of people think they're probably boring, but they're just the most classic college football uniforms.
I do like them as well.
And if they ever put a logo on the side of that helmet, it's gone forever. Like, I don't understand why people actually argue that.
Am I wrong, or do they sometimes mix in numbers? Don't they sometimes throw
They
an
have
alternate
sometimes
mix in
put
numbers?
on numbers. Yeah. Well, I remember it was a big deal when they added the stripe. That was like, what are you doing? But Penn State putting a logo on their helmet is like Alabama switching up their helmets. Like,
oh yeah, I know a lot of people.
just,
I'm with you. I love Penn State's uniforms. They look clean.
Yeah.
I wish for the whiteout. I know they never do this. I wish they would wear whites at home as well. I think that would look sick. But that's not really a football thing to wear whites at home. So
yeah. So I get back to back. Dang. No.
Yeah.
I want my next 2. Okay. I'm actually gonna flip my next one. Not that anyone else can see or cares, but I'm gonna take UCLA. I've always been a fan of just the script logo on the helmet. The light blue on the gold, I think, works really well.
Yeah.
I don't think any other teams have that combination. So I'll take UCLA with my next pick.
All right. And looks like Shooty's going to load back in here. Hold on. Give us 1 second. Let's get him on screen. He's a little blurry, but folks, he's still the best looking one here. So let's welcome back Spencer. Spencer Hood is
Did I get kicked out for my preposterous take?
I think God was just letting you know how much of a reach it was. So
I had your back, Spence.
To catch you up, so you got your 2 picks in with Michigan and Oregon. I then took USC. I couldn't believe you left him on the table.
That was next.
Max then went with Penn State and UCLA, and now it's back to me. So 2 classics. UCLA was my highest remaining there, Max, but I'm going to go another classic. And they're another new one. I'm going Washington. I love the purple and gold look. They have the second, well, forgot about LSU for a second. LSU, the Vikings, and Washington have perfected purple uniforms, in my opinion. I love absolutely everything about them. I like better, though, when they do the purple and gold pants. I think the purple and purple is a bit much when they mix that in. But the all-white looks great, too, with the gold helmet. So, yeah, give me Washington. So that gives me USC, Washington, and Minnesota. I'm feeling pretty good about my first 3 picks here.
The kid likes gold.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. By the way, I split this off into 2 tiers, and I got 2 teams left on in tier 1
Yeah. Washington
because
was my next remaining highest, so that's
yeah.
good pick.
All right. I don't think this was picked, so I got two.
Yep.
First, I got to go Sparty.
That was one of them.
Sparty is, that dark, sort of rich, deep green look that they have. It's not really replicated really anywhere else, and they
Yeah.
kind of pull it off well.
Stay
I
away
got to
from the
give them,
highlighted green that they mix in there.
yeah,
That's terrible. Just green and
just
white. That's all you need.
just
Yeah.
green and white, that deep green and white stick of classic. I love the look. And then, secondly, I hate to say it, the Hawkeyes. The Hawkeyes, black and yellow. I know that combination looks a little odd, but it is a classic look. They haven't changed, I don't think, ever. It's been the same look. But I think what it is, it's just the decal on the helmets, the Hawkeye.
So, yeah. I got to comment on that. They were I slid them into tier 2. They could have been probably tier 1. They were my top tier 2 team though, as far as jerseys go. I think nationally you're right. I think a lot of teams outside of the Big 10 like respect the Hawkeyes look. And I respect the look and I don't want them to do anything different with it. But I never like people love the Hawkeye decal on the helmet, which I never really thought much about it, but it's probably my bias.
Yeah,
I'll admit it's probably my bias. It's not like, but like I think their uniforms are a lot better than Wisconsin's, and I'm not
for
saying that
sure.
as like a. I just don't think. I think Wisconsin's are okay. Like they don't pop as classic to me. Iowa's still classic, So
Hmm.
I respect that pick. Um, my turn, right? You
Yep.
guys are gonna give me this. I'm gonna swamp this poll. Nebraska's everywhere on Twitter, and they also have classic uniforms. So I'm going Nebraska Cornhuskers as my 4th team selected. I'm feeling really good about how this draft is breaking for me. So I got
Sniped.
Nebraska, Washington, USC, and Minnesota as far as my all uniform teams.
All right.
You guys got to be feeling pretty
Well,
down about yourselves, I would imagine.
I think you guys tipped your hands that I can skip my next remaining highest team here because I think they're
It's
going to be
Wisconsin.
available. I had Iowa dead last. Just putting that out there.
Whoa! Wow!
I don't know why. I can
What?
appreciate the classic look, but
An
I just
Oregon
think
number
they're
2.
ugly. Yep.
Yeah, black and yellow. I understand.
That's just personally, but I get it.
Okay.
Anyway, my next one. So, man, now we're in the tier of like.
I think this is going to come down to what color preference do you have?
Exactly. Like, what color preference and like what kind of style do you like?
There was a team I
Because-
really didn't know where to put, but I'm like, yeah, like I'm glad those aren't my
Yeah.
colors, but they don't do them bad. But
Yeah.
go ahead. I'll stop talking.
I'll go. My next one. I'm gonna go Indiana. I think
They're my
simple-
remaining highest. They have some
Yeah.
great unis.
Just simple. The big, just Indiana or Hoosiers across the chest. The Trident IU logo, I think, is really underrated too. I think that looks good. They can ruin it sometimes, and they do the candy cane helmets. But no,
Yes.
I think Indiana's a good one.
Really quick on them. Have you ever seen their like 90s throwback with like the black, not 90s throwback. They wore it in the 90s, but it's got like the black trim around it and it's like the mesh.
Yes,
Those look sick. Those are
look
so
awesome.
good.
Yeah. Oh, I like
Those are better than what they wear now. But anyway.
Yeah. My next one. Now, I have a question before I make this one. Are we going strictly off of like what they're gonna be or like all time? Because one team changed it
to
up a
the
lot
fans.
last year.
You're getting
All
their
right, then I'm
jerseys.
not. Then I'm gonna.
Who
I'm just
changed
gonna
it up?
take. I'm gonna take Northwestern. Um, for a long time, I thought they were kind of ugly and just boring, but I think that's just because it's Northwestern in general, and you always see them just on rainy, cloudy days. But I don't know. The purple and white looks good. I like when they have like the script letter sometimes on the name or on the helmet instead of the N. But
Yeah. I'm laughing at my next pick because I don't know if I can. I have them as the highest. I don't think I can pick them. Like,
Yeah.
these ones never excite me. But sorry, my next pick, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think strategically, I'm just gonna go for it. I'll take Wisconsin. It's a class. They are the W is
Yeah.
theirs. Like no one else's W looks like that. So, gosh, it's not. I really don't like their uniforms to be honest that much.
I
I mean
don't
they're
really like
plain.
red and white, to be honest.
I just
But
it's
yes, they are a classic look.
just what was remaining.
Yeah,
Like here's my problem because I'm not. Well, I could still. I get one more pick, so I won't say that. Yeah, Wisconsin was my highest remaining. I didn't want to pick them, but they're close. These last teams are all. Well, there's one team that I had down there, Oregon.
Yeah. But
So
I'll say
anyway, to you,
I
Shooter,
think
you get the next two.
it's just where do I want to put them? I'm gonna go Purdue next. I don't really have much to say. They they kind of keep it simple too. Black and gold, white's in there too, but it doesn't really speak to me that much.
That's the team I
You
had no
know?
idea where to put them.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just kind of bland. But
Yeah.
it is just like it's their look. It's Purdue. I think they've
Yeah.
worn these colors forever. There's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't just speak out to me, like, oh, look,
Yeah.
there's Purdue over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Like I've never seen their uniform and be like, those are terrible, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad those
yeah,
aren't mine. You know what I mean?
right.
Like
Yeah,
it's
But I
their
guess
look. It's just
yeah.
not my palette.
yeah. And then right behind them, Illinois.
I had
Um,
those two next to each other. I didn't know who to
yeah.
put at who.
That's
Uh,
funny.
it was kind of 1 and 2, to be honest. I give Purdue the edge because the orange is just, I don't know, man. And when Illinois wears orange on orange, this is what got me. I just am like, that looks terrible,
Yeah.
terrible. I do like the navy and orange look a little more, but it's just, again, I just don't like the combination that much. Not that
Yeah.
it's not like I'm like, this is horrendous. I mean, it's Illinois, but
Yeah.
again, not really a fan.
When they went to the block I on the helmet instead of the white Illinois, that
Yeah.
ruined it for me. I
It's not
think
great.
it looks terrible.
Shooty, you have 3 out of my bottom 4 teams.
Yeah, Spencer took all 3 of my last 3.
What? Okay, Max,
Yeah.
your list should be thrown out because you know what?
No. Purdue.
So it's my
but
pick.
again, yeah.
My pick.
Yeah.
You didn't
really
okay.
got
yeah.
two
I
opposites.
was debating between these two, so I'll take Rutgers. I will take Rutgers.
Yeah.
It's really plain. Like there's nothing.
Yeah.
the red R. I know it's them. You know that's Rutgers.
Yeah.
I picture Ray Rice. RR punching ladies in the elevator. That's them. But so that's why I'll give them that last pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to say.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're just really plain. Rutgers is a uniform that you can easily make. Whatever game, like NCAA 14, you could design your own uniform for like a new team. That's kind of what Rutgers looks like. Just an R on the helmet.
Yeah.
I think it says maybe Rutgers above the numbers, maybe sometimes, maybe not. I don't know, but that's all they really got for them, I think. So that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I give Maryland.
That is my by far. They have the worst.
Yeah.
The Curse of Maryland's a huge improvement, but that other helmet.
So that's what I was gonna say. When I was actually looking back, I didn't realize that they never wore the flag helmet last year. They only had the Terps and like
That's better.
the more regular,
thank you.
plain looking helmets or like jerseys. So that's why they moved up a little bit on my list,
That's
just off
fair.
of last year, and I
That's
assume they're going
fair.
to stick with more of the kind
Yeah.
of regular looking uniforms.
My
'Cause, yeah,
brain just didn't forgive them for that atrocity that they wore for the first however many years in the Big Ten. It's terrible.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
Why
feel
don't
like
they
they're
just go back to that turtle that they used to have?
yeah,
They used to have
way
the
better.
turtle with the
just
M.
Mm-hmm.
That
yeah.
was way better. I guess the Terps isn't bad. Terps isn't bad, but
It's just I feel like their uniforms are a little polarizing. I feel like there are people out there that love them, but I could not agree more. They are just terrible. The combination of colors, I guess, you can throw in a lot of different combinations, but they all just don't look good together. They just don't. And
yeah,
their helmet, don't
Yeah.
care
yeah.
for him.
But that's what I mean. I hope they keep what they did last year, because last year, and I was actually surprised. I was looking through it like week by week that they actually wore like normal looking stuff. So I think they probably realized like, oh yeah, this is pretty terrible, and no one likes
Yeah.
to look at this because yeah, the flag helmet, and then they have like the flag like on the jerseys too everywhere, like the
Wasn't
little
it on
checkered
the
things.
shoulders too? I think it was on the
I
shoulders.
thought, yeah,
It was
yeah,
bad.
those are bad, but they're coming around.
Yeah.
So what's the final?
I'm self-declaring me the winner of this draft. Okay, we'll go who Max had the first overall. Oh, wow, I can't talk. Max had the first overall pick. He got Ohio State, UCLA, Penn State, Indiana. Did you get Northwestern as well?
Yeah,
Northwestern and Maryland. Not bad. That's pretty good.
pretty top heavy.
I think they all are. I got the Gophers, USC, Washington, Nebraska, Wisconsin, and Rutgers. Shooty, you got what was your first pick?
Michigan.
Michigan, Oregon, Michigan State, Iowa, Purdue, and Purdue. Right? Yeah.
Purdue and Illinois.
And Illinois. Sorry, that's the one I missed.
Yeah.
I won.
Good luck, folks.
I will have to say I do like the order that our overall draft was. I have no problem with it actually.
I have a problem with Oregon going that high.
I know what you're saying. I do,
Dude. Okay, just think of
but
like college football royalty.
I don't think most people will agree with that.
So you took that one to get votes.
Well, I think that they do have good uniforms if put in the right combination. I look back to the Marcus Mariota era. All those uniforms were phenomenal that they wore that entire season. Besides the national championship game, I didn't really care for those.
Terrible.
We remember.
You like the camel
terrible.
pants?
They deserved getting spanked in the
But I don't think I've ever seen, aside from that, I don't think I've seen Marcus Mariota in a bad uniform.
Thank you.
I don't think so. But
like quarterback
they do have combinations out of the 1.7 million that aren't so good, but they do have some that are pretty great.
On average,
I think I would love to see. I hope this gets a lot of votes. I'm going to ask people to retweet this because I think just the fan bases that I got in mine, I feel like I'm going to crush it.
We'll see.
But,
bias, maybe. Of course, the Cornhuskers are out there,
I don't think people.
Bias aside, your list is really good. It is.
Yet another off-season ranking that Nebraska is going to dominate.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, I'm going to put it in order. I'm going to make sure I show them. You were my fourth pick, so that's right.
Out of
Gophers
6,
number 1. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. No, I can't really argue too much on the order overall. I think like if it was in tiers, I feel like we all had a pretty, outside of a couple like we all had, Illinois, Purdue's, Northwestern's, Rutgers, like towards the bottom
Yeah,
where they belong.
that's that's all right. Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
think we're ready to wrap this up.
as always, everyone out there, thank you all for listening to another episode of Sky U Pod. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, X, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go ahead and check out our partner's website, thecollegehuddle.com. You can see so many different college football podcasts out there with articles. Pretty much if most schools are out there. So if you're a fan of a school out there, check it out. They have some good content on the site. Like and subscribe if you can. Helps out the video and spreads awareness of the show. As always, row the boat, Sky Yuma, and go Gophers.
Buy some Duck Duck beer. All right, that's all I got.